Greetings to you wherever you are. I hope this message meets you willing and ready to receive. In other words, in a receiving mode. Okay? Today, we want to discuss how you are to go about thinking in order to attract wealth and riches in your life. Okay? To fully understand what it means when it is stated on the cover of a book called Think and Grow Rich, written by a man by the name of Napoleon Hill. Okay? And so, all of the principles that is stated in that book, they're all mental and psychological in terms of it all have to do with the rearranging of your mind or the renewing of your mind. So it's all about mindset. And that is what we want to discuss in this life. I want to know where your mindset is at so I can walk with you. Okay? And so I'm awaiting for your comment. Okay? So I would be able to attend to whatsoever is your need, your desire. Okay? Like, for example, people go to the doctor. And the reason why they go to the doctor, it is because somewhere within their thinking or their state of believing, they feel unwell. They feel as if they're sick. And so most people go to the doctor when they feel as if they are sick. But if you do not feel as if you're sick, most likely, most people won't go to the doctor. Okay? What is the same thing when it comes to earning more money in your life and living the best version of your life on this planet? It all have to do with how you feel. So presently, right now, you have to basically judge yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to take a good look at yourself. And you have to be honest, as I said before, with yourself to know where you at and where you would like to go. For example, you have to have a mindset that is definite if you really want to grow, okay, and become rich and have a lot of wealth in your life. You have to be definite by knowing exactly what you want. So basically, you have to create a mindset of confidence. You have to create a mindset of surety. And that doesn't come without knowledge. That is why the first ingredient that you would need to grow rich is the acknowledgement of self, which means self-love have to be in its rightful place. And its rightful place is number one. Number one thing is that you have to learn to love yourself. So you have to develop that mindset. You have to cultivate that mindset, because you may have grown up in a society, a community, whereby you were not raised to cultivate that kind of mindset, like a rich mindset. A mindset whereby you're seeing yourself having millions and millions in your bank account. A mindset where you're seeing yourself providing to thousands, if not millions of people around the world and helping them, whether is it through your invention or whether is it through your intelligence, whatever goods or whatever service you have to offer. You have to see yourself offering that goods or that service. Okay? And it have to take place in your mind. So you have to create a healthy mindset by force of all learning to love and embrace yourself. You see, if you never love and embrace yourself, you'll never be able to have the kind of faith and trust in yourself to become the best version of yourself on this planet. Many people overlook self-love. Many people overlook self-care. Many people overlook gratitude. You see, to develop a mindset of gratitude, you have to have the right feeling or the right mood about life and about yourself and about this entire universe. It is a must. Because, you see, when it comes to the mindset, your mindset can be likened to Mother Earth. And whatsoever seed that you sow in Mother Earth is gonna reproduce it back or multiply back to you. So when you look at nature, you can see a system of multiplication. And that system of multiplication, you can also see it in the mental and spiritual world. In that, as you think, so shall you be. That is why it is stated in the book of Mind Science that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Well, you have to take a look at the heart. If as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, then you have to take a very close look at the heart and see what the heart is really speaking about. But I'm saying that the heart is speaking about the seat of consciousness, the place of your awareness. And for you to be conscious and aware, you have to definitely know who you are. You have to reach a place in your life where you say, I am not going to live like this anymore. You have to reach a place in your life when you're going to say, I'm going to change the results in my life. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to change the results in my life so I can live a more fulfilled life. So I can live a more accomplished life. So I can have a better feeling of myself and the world around me. Because whether you believe it or not, your mood is definitely your fortune. Don't look for your fortune to give you that mood. You have to get in that mood, because when you get in that mood or feeling of the thing that you already accomplished, though it hasn't appeared in the physical three-dimensional world, when you live in the now, seeing yourself possess it already, seeing yourself living the life already, living it in the now. It doesn't matter what happens around you. It doesn't matter how condition looks around you. You deny all the confusion that is around you. You deny all the distractions. You deny everything that is around you. And you live from the place of being limitless. You live from the place where there is no doubt. You live from the place where there is no fear. You live from that place where there is just pure consciousness, pure awareness. That's why you must live in that consciousness, live in that awareness. And how do you live it? By feeling it. By feeling it. So you have to cultivate a mindset where you're living in the feeling of your wish already, a hardened objective fact. So, for example, if you're living in a one-bedroom apartment, but you would like to live in a three-bedroom apartment, you would like to have a 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or even a 10-bedroom home. How much bedroom you want in your home? You can close your eyes while you living in a one-bedroom apartment, and you can see yourself living in a mansion with 10 rooms, 12 rooms, 12 bathrooms. Okay? Which is to say that you can use your mind to multiply. You can use your mind to increase. You can use your mind to expand. Okay? For example, you can close your eyes and you can see in your hand a $100 bill. Then you could also close your eyes and see 10 $100 bills. And you can close your eyes and you can count 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 $100 bill. You could also count 1,000 $100 bill. What allow you to do that? It's the power of your mind, which means your mind could be likened to the source from which a tree get its nourishment to multiply and bring forth. But it can't multiply and bring forth if it doesn't grow. Well, how are you going to grow? In order for you to grow, you have to see the state where you're at right now. Because if you do not see the state that you are in right now, you would know where you want to go. So knowing where you want to go, knowing what you desire, knowing that you would like to have more in your life, that is you bringing yourself in alignment with nature. You see, the tree has a built-in mechanism that is speaking telepathically with the soil, with the water, with the light, the fire from the sun. Okay? Which means it is in connection with all of its surrounding. It is in a place of oneness. The tree is not in a place of division. It is in a place of oneness. So that is why the tree is still in alignment. And it is in alignment with what? The sun. Well, the sun is lighting onto your mind. That's why I've been teaching that the sun as in the SU, and it parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. So without the sun, there's no life and there's no light, and without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. So you have to think in alignment, because everyone thinks. But if you're thinking from a place of lack, if you're thinking from a place of scarcity, if you're thinking from a place of there is not enough to go around, you're out of alignment. So many people have been thinking from a place of lack. They've been thinking from a place where they're out of alignment. The people who have vision boards, the people who've been doing scripting, there are people who've been doing affirmations, there are people who've been going from workshop to workshop, there are people who've been checking out all the different videos on the internet, yet they cannot manifest the life that they want to manifest. They want to grow rich, but they're not seeing the reflection of that which they desire. And the reason for that is because they're out of alignment. Because there's no way a tree is not going to bring forth abundantly if it is in alignment with the sun. No tree could bring forth if it is not in alignment with the sun. It have to be able to conduct light. It must be a conductor of light. And you are to be a conductor of light because you are light. That light is currency. That currency is the alchemical substance that creates all things. The alchemical substance is invisible. That is why you have to think in a certain way. You have to act in a certain way. You have to believe in a certain way when you're using the thinking stuff. The thinking stuff is not something you try today and you put it down tomorrow because you believe that it doesn't work. So you have to think in terms of consistency. You have to think in terms of one that is patient and willing to wait. You have to think in terms of one who understands the law of sowing and reaping. You have to arrange your mind in such a disciplined way that you are doing the things that you're supposed to do every day. You're thinking the way you're supposed to think every day. If you plant corn, you can never reap pumpkin. And so if you saw thoughts of lack and scarcity, thoughts of doubt and fear and guilt and shame, and you're anxious for manifestation, these things will block all of your blessings. So my mother, my brother, my sisters, when I speak about how to think and grow rich, I'm saying you have to think in the now. The now is the how. Most people are not thinking in the now because they do not understand the power of I am. That's why when you say I am, and you're conscious and aware of your I amness, you realize that you're saying I am in the eternal now. You realize that you are a millionaire now. You realize that you're a multi-millionaire now. You realize that you have that $100,000 in your bank account now. You have that $250,000 in your bank account No. You have that $500,000 in your bank account? No. You have that $1 million in your bank account? No. Only now. That's how you have to think to go rich. You have to think in the now, the eternal now, which means you have to tap into your eternal self. You have to embrace and believe in your eternal self. That's where self-love comes in. Most people lose in the game because they're living in self-doubt. They're living in self-hate. They're unaware. They are misinformed concerning how the mind really works. When you understand your brain being a receiver and a transmitter of frequency, you have to send out a rich frequency out into the ether through having a rich vibration. And to get on that rich vibration, there must be a transmutation. And you're going to transmute that energy through what? Your feeling, through your emotion. That is why you have to always live in the feeling. You can't get out of the feeling. You have to feel what it feels like to have $500,000 in your bank account, or to have $1 million, or to have $10 million in your bank account, or to worth 100 million, or to worth 500 million. Whatsoever the amount is, you have to see yourself as that, because you do not attract that which you just wish that you would like to attract. You can only attract that which you are. So if you do not cultivate a rich mindset in the now, you'll always miss the mark. You will always miss the mark. Some people believe that they could only afford certain things when they get the money to afford it. That's why they don't see themselves having it. For example, a person might see $1 million home for sale. And because they do not have $1 million, they believe that they can't afford the $1 million home, so they don't put themselves in it in the now. So I'm saying, when you think in the now and you live in the now, all things are yours, whatsoever you desire once you live in the now. You see, when you live in the now, you're living from inside out. You're living from the subconscious world when you live in the now. You're living in your God mode when you live in the now. You're living in your God self when you live from the now. You're achieving all that you would like to achieve when you achieve it in the now. It's not when you get more money, because you are already money. You just have to be in the alignment of transmuting that money into the equivalent of your reality in this physical three-dimensional world. That's why it's very important for you to be specific and know exactly how rich you would like to be. Whether is it 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, 100 million. Some people cannot use their minds to see themselves worth $100 million because they're still living in the reasoning mind. They're still living in the conscious ego mind, where their reasoning mind, whereby they're trying to figure out how or when. But my brother and my sisters, I'm saying to you, when you discover how magical you are and you discover the power of the mind, you would realize why Napoleon Hill make sure he named that book, Think and Grow Rich. This principle was known by Andrew Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and many, many, many more back in, their time. when very few people would have understand the era that they were living in. Okay? And we're living in an era whereby if you do not realize that it is your mind you have to use to grow into your riches, and that your mind have to be in a certain alignment, so you will be able to discover the rich version of you. You see, there's a poor version of you. Okay, and there's a rich version of you. Therefore, you have to be the judge of where you are right now. You have to be the judge of yourself right now. You have to look at yourself right now in the mirror of life and see where you at. If right now you're not a millionaire, okay, then when are you going to become a millionaire? Because you have to be a millionaire before you have $1 million in the bank. You have to be a millionaire before you have asset that worth $1 million. You have to become it before. So if right now you're saying to yourself that you are not a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, then you're still living in self-doubt. You're still living in self-hate and not knowing who you are. You're not self-aware. You're not self-actualized. You're not self-realized. You're still lost. In other words, you're still trapped in time, because throughout this life, I'm trying to tell you that time is not real. That is why I am teaching you how to think and grow rich. And I'm telling you how. The how is thinking in the now, living in the now. And so, as a melanated person, for you to live in the now, you have to get rid of your historical God belief. You have to get rid of your historical Savior belief. And you have to see the Savior now. You have to see the multiplier now. You have to find a mentor who can teach you how to multiply bread and fish. There must be a man who can turn on the light for you to see. The principle of taking the 2 fishes and the 5 loaves and be able to satisfy many. I am telling you what I am teaching you concerning living in the now, operating from the now, loving yourself now, trusting someone to be your mentor now, trusting someone to invest or sow a seed, using your money now. What have you to lose or to lose? Some people have never been able to 10x what they have in the bank because of their mindset. I've been challenging people on the internet to sow how much they feel led to sow, and challenge me, see if I would not 10x that in your life because of my way of thinking. And I am so assured of what takes place when you are in alignment that I can challenge people. Okay? Because you see, many people are not aware of who they are. That's why they don't trust other people. They believe everyone who's out here, they want to scam them to get something from them. But I can challenge any man, any part of the world to put their money where their mouth lie. Because I reached to a place that I realize that I can multiply in someone else's life. But there are principles. I understand the principle of giving and receiving. I start giving first, then I start to receive. And when you start to receive, it's like magic happening in your life. But you have to understand the principle of giving. And that is why, since I realize the depth of power and responsibility has been given to me. I decide by the end of this year, all the services that I was offering for X amount of money, I'm going to change that because I realize more and more I start to see more my value. How much the information I'm giving, how valuable it is. When I start to experience making a certain amount of money in an hour, then I start to understand me giving an hour to someone and they want it cheaply. Or sometimes they don't even want to pay for it. It makes me realize what I have. And the more you realize what you have, and the more you see your life expand and grow, is the more you see the importance of your time and how you use your time and who you give your time to and who you give your energy to. That is why, my brother and my sisters, I realize that people normally put value, a lot of value, in the things that they pay a lot of money for. I remember one time speaking to a young man who wanted to pay me 15,000 US dollars. They wanted to pay me 15,000 US dollars. Okay. But they wanted to pay me that based on they having a mindset thinking that there's a special sauce, a special secret. So it's like if I was to give them that special sauce or that special secret, and I was trying to tell the person, there's no special sauce, there's no special secret. I'm not trying to keep anything away from them because they was giving me the impression that I know something and I'm keeping it away from them. And if I only give them that, okay, then they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and they're willing to pay me $15,000. And I couldn't work with that person because I was giving that person the recipe and they couldn't see I'm giving them the recipe because of its simplicity. It was so simple. So my brother, my sister, when I tell you, if you learn to think in the now, you can't be poor, you can't be broke. You can't live a day in your life where you not have enough. Just by shifting your mindset from the past to the now and live from that place, from the place of now. I never read The Power of Now. There's a man named Eckhart Tolle, something like that. I think he's a German man or whatever. Was an opera and so on and all, very popular. He ain't teaching nothing different from what I am teaching here right now to you. I never read his book. But I have the intelligence because it's already in my DNA. The science of getting rich is already in my DNA. That's why I could tell you the sun and the human imagination are one. The sun, the SU, and that shining. That's why what I'm doing here, I'm trying to put you in alignment with the sun. Especially if you're a melanated person, you have to get in alignment with the sun. To get in alignment with the sun is to be in your right mind. Because the sun is the mind and the planet. And every bit of it is in the fruit you eat. Everything you get from the earth. And it is in every cell of your body. As a melanated person, the carbon inside of you can help you to deal with the sun in its highest. The sun in all its power. You're a conductor of that kind of electricity. It could go through you without hurting you. That's why I'm saying mind power is sun power. Mind magic is sun magic. So your mind have to be in alignment in order for you to grow rich. So thinking is the cause of poverty and prosperity. So the book Think and Grow Rich, I could take that book and show you the entire book in the Bible itself and prove to you that the Bible is encrypted. It's a cryptic book. And you as a melanated person, it has all been kept as a cryptic book away from you. That's why so much of our people live in all kind of confusion. They're divided all over the place. Some is Hebrew Israelites, some is Adventist, some is Baptist, some is Pentecostal, some is Jehovah's Witness. They're all over the place. And all of them fail to realize that it's all pure mind science. It's all have to do with the mind. When your mind is in alignment in the now, you become one with the rest of nature. You start living from the place whereby you've been empowered by the sun, the S-U-N. Because there's a sun within. It's a principle. It multiplies. Anything the sun shines upon, it multiplies. It grows. It expands. It comes in its true self. It matures. It brings forth. You telling me your personality is not liking unto the bringing forth of the fruit from a tree? You telling me your environment is not a result of your inner thinking? That's why no one could prove me wrong when I say that the Bible is a book of mind science. So as a melanated person, if you do not think in terms of you being a spirit and you're just having a human experience, how are you going to grow rich? If you still believe that there's some outside savior coming to save you, how are you going to grow rich? When you believe there's some outside healer coming to heal you, how are you going to grow rich? When you have the inner sun inside of you to heal you, do you know that the sun is what heals us as the people of the sun on this planet? The sun is my healer. The sun is my provider. The sun is a reflection of that which is within. So I look to the sun within. How do I do it? Through my thoughts pattern. The way I think. So my brother and my sisters, never think another day in your life as being broke. From now. From now. As a matter of fact, right now, I have about 6 of you right now on the live. I want you to comment on something that you desire in this world right now. And we're going to do an exercise right now for it. Right now. Because most people do not know what they want. Tell me something that you want right now. Comment something you want right now. Now. Something you like to achieve, something you like to be. And comment it right now. I'm waiting for the comment. Would you like to attract more money in your life? Would you like for your income to improve? How much would you like to make per year? Where would you like to live? What kind of vehicle would you like to drive? What is your desire? Comment. Because this life is for people who want to grow rich. This life is for people who want to experience a rich life. The rich version of themselves. This person here wants a new home. If you're going to close your eyes and you're going to think about a new home, you have to have a blueprint of that home. How many rooms? How many bathrooms? How many kitchen? How many bedrooms? Do you want a pool? Do you want a gym? You have to name all the different things you like to have in your home, and you have to be able to close your eyes and live that in the now. So let's say you want a home, okay, with at least 3 parking areas. I want you to close your eyes right now and see yourself driving. But if you see yourself driving, remember you cannot see your face. Feel your hand on the steering wheel, okay, of the vehicle that you're in, and see yourself driving in to an automatic gate that is opening for you. And as you feel yourself driving, you have to feel what vehicle you're in, driving into the home that you now own. Okay? And you have to go into one of the driveway, but you're seeing 3 driveways and you're driving to one. And then in your mind, you have to know where the door is or the entrance that you're going to go in your home. And then you enter your home. So to cut a long story short, one of the best things you can do is find the picture of a home that you would like to own. And you can put it on a board, a vision board or something. You stick it up in your house for a timing, only for a timing. After a while, you take it down and remove it and put it away where you can't see it. So let's say the timing is for 2 weeks. Okay? You have the picture of that place. You have the price of the house they're selling it for and all of that. Okay? And each night, as you're about to go to bed, you sleep in that house. Because you already have the house. You already own the house. The house is already yours and you're sleeping in the house. I remember when I wanted was to live in a different area and a better area than where I was, when I learned about the power of my mind and how to align my mind to grow a certain way. Okay, I started to sleep in this different place. And this is where I'm sleeping up to this day. Because a shift took place in my life whereby a series of events took place in my life and have me living in that place that I was envisioning. Well, it's the same power that you have to use to get a new home. You have to sleep in that new home. Okay? Yeah, you have to outline that new home first of all in your mind. And write it down. Or get a picture. I normally go on real estate site and see what they have that fits me or what suits me. Okay? If it doesn't resonate with me, I don't go using my imagination about it. But if it really resonates with me and it fits the blueprint of what I have in my mind, I come close to that blueprint I have in my mind, then I'll go and do exercise towards it. Okay? So, there's only one person who commented and say they would like to get a new home. Is there anyone else on the live that would like to have something? Because I'm telling you exactly what you must do. And the reason why I'm telling you what you must do is because I know most of the time why most people do not become successful, even though they want to live a more successful life. It is because they lack discipline. Many a time it's because they're not hungry enough. Because they're not definite enough. So it takes a number of different things to help you to be in alignment. That is why you have to do these things over and over and over again, because repetition is very important. And that is why I always stress, first of all, that self-love is the most important thing that is needed. Many people are missing how important it is for you to have self-love. And many people fail to realize that you cannot cultivate self-love having a religious and a superstitious mindset. It is impossible. Because once you have a religious and a superstitious mindset, it is coming from a place of fear. And love have to be perfect to cast out all doubt and fear. Perfect love is self-love. And self-love is real God love. Because God is the power in you that you must use to achieve your every desire. Is the invisible substance that is within. And when you use that invisible substance that is within to create, then you know where the creator lives. And you know how to operate the power of the creator. That's why it is called creativity. Creativity is what it is called. So finding your creative self comes with having a mindset that is in alignment with the rest of nature. Nature is in its creative self, giving us food, giving us shelter, giving us money, giving us all of these different things. And we need each other. We need the plants, just like the animal need the plants. We get oxygen and we give off carbon dioxide and so on. We get from the plants. But the plants and the animals and us, we need the sun. The sun is the one that is engineering this planet. And that is why there needs to be an inner engineering that is taking place within you. And that inner engineering is alignment with the sun. Someone says here they want a life of peace and abundance. That peace must be found from within, and that abundance must be found from within. But this is how you go about it. Okay? Do not look for the abundance to give you peace. Find peace and it will give you the abundance. And I'm saying to you, to find peace, you have to learn to accept yourself as you are right now. That is the only true love there is, which is an unconditional love. So to have unconditional love, you have to accept yourself as you are right now and see yourself as you are right now. Because if you see yourself right now where you at, you will know where you want to go. So like for example, if you only have $10,000 in your bank right now, in your bank account, I'm teaching you that you can make a shift. You can make a quantum leap. Okay, just by shifting your mind. And you could shift that 10,000 to 10 million. The only how you can do it is shifting your mindset, the way you think. And I'm saying to you as a melanated person, if you have a religious and a superstitious mindset, if you still believe in some entity outside of yourself, if you believe in some power outside of yourself, you can't do the things that I'm saying to do here consciously. To be a conscious and a deliberate creator, you have to definitely fix your mindset. And as I said earlier, you have to fix it to think in the now and to live in the now. So close your eyes and see and feel you living a peaceful life in the now and having the abundance in the now. So if you don't go and find, like say, pictures of homes and vehicles, whatever you might need, and you can get excited about them while you do your imagination or your imaginal act and feel the feeling, then you can get in alignment. Because why? You're not impressing your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is only living from the now, not the I will be. The subconscious mind do not live in the future, and it do not live in the past. The subconscious mind live in the now. The feeling of now. The feeling that you must cultivate must be now. Live in your new home now. So go get a picture, I'll go drive around, find a house, take a picture of a house, start living it now. Be specific, write down all the things, all the detail of what you want in your home. The details of how you want to live your life in peace and abundance too. You have to put it down in detail. You have to be specific about it. You have to be definite about it. That's why I think it's in chapter 1 I have Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill talk about definiteness of purpose. Definiteness of purpose is something that is spiritual more than people really think it is. When you understand that you're a spirit having a human experience, when you know who you are and you know the power that you possess, that's when you could become definite. Because you'll be more definite when you're more assured of what you're working with. When you understand how the law of attraction really works, when you understand the science behind of it, when you understand how the mind works, when you understand the non-physical alchemical substance of thought and how thoughts become things, when you really understand that science, and you can take that science and you can align that science with the rest of nature and seeing the sun, whatever the sun shines upon, it brings forth bountifully. You look at the coconut trees, you look at the mango trees, you look at the trees around you. You take a visit at the beach and think about the amount of fishes in the sea. And you see there's abundance all around you. How could you live in a life of lack and scarcity when there's abundance all around you? The reason why people are not seeing the abundance that is around them, it is because they're out of alignment with the sun. So they're blind. They have no vision. They have no dream. They have no goal. They don't know what they want. I remember one time I asked a woman, how rich you want to be? You see, I want to become so rich. I want to help the people in Africa. I say again, how rich do you want to be? Oh, I want to have so much money. I want to help black people all around the world. I say, woman, how rich do you want to be? And she's still going on. I said to her, I said, you do not know what the fuck you want. And you want to talk most consciousness. You even want to correct me, and you don't even know what you want. And that is why there's a lot of people that like to give advice, and they know everything. And these are most of these people are the people who have religious and superstitious mindset. They know everything. So a man is a Baptist because he know. A man is an Anglican because he know. A man is a Jehovah's Witness because he know. A man is a Rastafarian because he know. All of them, they know. So they hold to these identities that doesn't produce results in their life. And they put a tag on themselves, a label on themselves. And when they put a label on themselves, they label the world and they label others too. And they don't understand there's only one power. And you have to know how to use the power. The sun power is the only power on this planet that causes cheese to bring forth. An animal get to eat the cheese and get nutrients from the cheese. So how the hell could you have common sense and you believe in a SON? to be the light of the world. You have to be dumb. And some people cannot deal with correction. I am telling you right now, if you listen to me, okay, don't be afraid to mention right in this life how much you are making a year. Just give me a figure about how much you make in a year. And I'm going to tell you how much you could actually own in a year or in a month. Just give me a figure. How much you own in a year. Because how much you own in a year is a reflection of your mindset. How much you earn in a month is a reflection of your mindset. How much you earn in a week is a reflection of your mindset. I'm speaking from my own experience. The more I use this science of mine and connect it back to nature, is the more I am vibrating on a higher level to multiply and increase, because it gives me what? More confidence in the power that I have inside of me. From since I was in the invisible world, I had all that power. Now I come into this visible world to have this human experience. And I learn how to utilize this power. There's no going back. That's why you can never catch me looking on the outside for no outside savior. You see, I ask people to comment how much they make in a year. And up to now, I haven't seen anybody comment how much they make in a year. You see, if you are afraid to say how much you are making a year, if you are afraid, you're carrying fear about money. You're carrying fear about yourself. And you're carrying fear about where you want to go. So comment. Tell me how much you're making a year. Don't be afraid. Because if you tell me how much you're making a year, I'll tell you how much you could make. Comment. How much you making a year? If you're satisfied with that, fine. But if you don't satisfy with that, I'm going to tell you how that which you are making in a year, how you can make it in a month. So comment. People afraid to comment. My brother, my sisters, how much you are making is a reflection of who you are. Some people think that it is too personal to say how much they're making a year. No, it's because the concept you have. You see how much I'm proving that how people think that will just be blocking their blessing in their life. I asked people to comment about what they want. People was willing to comment about where they want. But when you tell them to comment about where they are, they don't want to comment about where they are. But see, the kind of people would say, I am making $60,000 a year. I am making $50,000 a year. But I would love that to triple. I would love that to 10x. I would like to get 5 times that. Some people are afraid to say that and walk towards that. That's why they don't want to share certain things right now. I'm waiting for comments and people not commenting. How much you make in a year? How much you would like to make a year? You see, when it comes to definiteness of purpose, you see why some people don't achieve. You have to be definite. How could I help you to go to the next step, but I don't know where you are? I remember on a live, a man say he want to manifest over 4 million in a month, but he never say where he was at. My brother, my sisters, not until I was sick and tired of where I was at, and I decided, I'm not gonna live my life like this anymore. Not until I reach to the point I could have transcend and go higher. You see, people afraid to say, "Oi, I'm making $100,000 a year." Because I'm telling you, if you're making $100,000 a year, it is because you could actually end up making $100,000 a month. And when you figure that out, then you realize you can make $100,000 in a day too. There are people on this planet who would have made $1 million in a day. So my brother, my sisters, I'm not gonna go too much over the hour, because as I said before, I realize the more you start to achieve in life, the more you start to understand the importance of your time and how to use your time. Okay, and how to avoid people who wanna hold on so tight to money they don't even wanna invest in a mentor. They just getting knowledge. And up to now they can't apply. And they want to apply, but they don't want to walk according to the goal and rule of life. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. You want someone to come and bless you, give you knowledge, give you all of that. When you come to invest in you, you're afraid to invest. You're afraid to trust. You know, if someone, right, was to say, I'm making this amount a year, but I would like to make this amount a year, it sends a message to me saying that this person trusts me. They trust the wisdom that's coming from my mouth. And the reason why I call it wisdom, it is because they are willing to apply it. They do not see it as just knowledge, because knowledge without application doesn't mean anything. It has no power. It must be applied. So right there, I was just testing, okay, the people on the chat to see how much people really believe I trust the thing that I'm saying. So if you can't trust someone, I trust the world by stating exactly how much you make in a year, how much you would like to make a year. Like a confidence. I'm telling you that. Nothing wrong with that. They may say, oh, tell no one or your idea and this and that. Okay, that is true. Don't tell no one your idea if you have an idea and so on. You don't go telling people your idea. But if you have a desire, let's say you're doing a job, you're working and you're making certain amount a year, you're still into the 95 and so on, and you would like to make more than that, you don't have to really worry yourself about how, you don't have to worry yourself about when. You understand? You meet someone like myself on the internet and you mention, you type it in and you say how much you would like, and I can use my inner power on your behalf. Because why? You realize that when your eyes open, you realize that you're naked. Most people, they're naked. If you know how deep that is, if people really realize how deep that is, what now say they? When they eat from that tree, the eyes were open and they know that they was naked. If you really understand what that they really mean, you'll never be religious and superstitious in your life. You'll never try to fool the world and end up fooling yourself. It tells what kind of mindset people have about money. That's why people think when it comes to share knowledge about money and how much money they're earning, it's personal. No, it's not personal. It's not personal. That's why many times in video I tell people how much I used to earn. I never earned $2,000 working at the post office. I never earned $2,000 a month. I don't even think I ever earned $1,500. Maybe 14 something. And I knew that that's not the place I was supposed to be in life. And I was sick and tired of being broke and not having enough. And I started to question my belief system and look into my belief system. And then I started to find answers by becoming an operator, a generator, and a destroyer. I started to destroy my old limiting beliefs. I was willing to grow. I was willing to expand. I was willing to learn new things. I become open-minded. But it didn't just happen like that. I had to break the course that was on my life. If you're a melanated person, you think there is no course that been passing down from generation to generation to generation to generation, you tell a lie. You have to break the spell. You have to break the course. Okay? And then you start to think and live in the now. So, how to think and grow rich? Think in the now. You're a millionaire now. You're a multi-millionaire now. Though you didn't mention how much you're making a year now, okay? You can double it, you can triple it, you could 10x it, but you have to do it in the now. It must always be done in the now, okay? That is as simple as it gets. That's how easy it is to manifest, okay? And remember to live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you have them do unto you, okay? Before I end here, let me thank those people who have been supporting this work. And those people who have been supporting this work, you know, I never reach out to you and ask you, okay? You did it off your own way of gratitude, okay? And so the people who normally apply the things that I teach in their life, I would know, because they must become successful. They must grow, they must expand, and we must grow together. All of us must grow together, okay? And so I'm extremely grateful to those people, you know, whether through PayPal or whichever way they choose to, you know, support this work. We are very much grateful to you. And whatsoever you do, it must return unto you 100-fold. You see, when the sower went out to sow seed, you have to understand it. Those that fell on good ground and bring forth, they bring forth 100-fold. Well, this is the 100-fold secret that they don't want you to know. It's the secret of your higher self. Your higher self is your real self. And your real self is rich. Your real self is limitless. Your real self can do all things. Because your real self has and is the Christ power. That's the power you use to achieve your every desire, and there's no outside power. So don't seek no outside power. So my brother, my sisters, I would definitely encourage you to check me out on the other live. I'm going to have another live on my Black Man Go YouTube channel. You can follow me there. Also, if you like to be mentor, I'll be willing to mentor you, okay? I develop such a confidence now that I know the only how a person can work with me and they do not achieve is if they are lazy. And when I say lazy to apply things and to do things and be patient and consistent with them. One thing that built my consistency, right, was going to the gym from since I was growing up as a boy, going to the gym and continue with the lifestyle. And so bodybuilding helped to build a lot of discipline inside of me. Okay, and I just transfer that kind of discipline into other aspects of my life. That's why when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to creating consciously, when it comes to attracting more money in my life, when it comes to living a more rich and fulfilled life, when it comes to living a more accomplished life, I didn't wait until I have a certain amount to talk about these things. I was talking about them before. The reason why I know people, okay, who are the same kind of belief like me, but I know deep within they were afraid to come on the internet, use the internet, come on social media and teach these things that I am teaching because what they were doing, right? What most people does, they offer the people a lifestyle. So they show the people their own Lamborghini, they show people their own Rolls Royce, they show people their own mansion, they do all of these things, and what they do, they impress them. All they do is they impress them, okay, and make them believe they're gonna get these same things without really doing any introspection, really checking themselves and realizing that they need to change themselves, and they can only attract that which they are and not just which they desire. So you could always say you desire a Lamborghini or you desire a Rolls Royce and so on. But if you never really realize that you can only attract that which you have become, okay, the things that you can attract that could destroy your life because you didn't go through that purification. All you want was self-gratification. But my brother, my sisters, I'm saying, when you look at nature, nature is always bringing forth with a purpose and the right agenda. It's not to rule and to control, it's to provide. To provide what? Healing. To provide restoration. To produce joy, peace, happiness, and contentment. The coconut tree doesn't want to show off how much coconut they could produce. The coconut tree is saying, I'm at your service. The sea is saying, I'm at your service. You want food. The trees are saying the same thing. You want clothing. I provide you cotton. I'm providing for you. You're taken care of. That's why you have to build a mindset and now. Now. Stop procrastinate, okay? So if you want to book a one-on-one with me, you can book a one-on-one with me because I'm encouraging people to book one-on-one with me for this year while it is cheaper because next year I'm gonna raise my price. Every year I'm gonna raise my price because why? Every year I'm gonna get more and more busier. Every year I'm gonna make more and more money. Okay, so more and more I see more the value of my time. You have to understand, most people exchange time for money. Okay, and when you reach a stage now that you're not exchanging time for money, okay, and you're in control of your creativity, you're using your creativity, and the money is working for you. You have to definitely set your priority. You have to know how to set your priority. It just recently there I see I think YouTube was even giving people a deadline to change like their membership pay charges and so on. They have changed the charges that they used to charge before and so on. Okay. So my brother, my sisters, this thing is a process and it's a growing process. And though I am a teacher, I just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. Okay, so I want you to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. It's not an overnight thing. It's not a get rich quick thing either. Okay, but as time goes by, and you become more of a master, and the more you start to master this thing, it starts to become more magical to you. So things start to happen more faster. That's why I was saying that if a person see how much they make in a year, I could show them that amount they make in a year, they could actually make it in a month. And then from a month, they could end up making it in a day too. You could take it to a week before you take it to a day. Okay? I'm telling you, if I was to go back and see when I had that kind of broke mindset, scarcity mindset, when I didn't know who I am and so on. Okay, if you would have told me I could make a certain amount in an hour, I would have doubted you. If you tell me I wouldn't be able to make a certain amount in a day, I would have doubted you. And it all changed from what? Just a shift in my mindset. I shift my mindset from the past and the future, and I bring it in the now. And I live in the now. And I'm teaching you how to live in the now. And the reason why most melanated people that live in the now is because they have most religious and superstitious mindset. And to have a religious and superstitious mindset, you can't live in the now. You have to live in the past because you have to believe in history. You have to be taking personification for persons, and you have to be taking all the glory for history. So you're chopping history. You're chopping his story and not your story. You're chopped in time. That is not even real. And the reason why you can't recognize the illusion, because yourself, you're living in an illusion. That's why each and every day, you have to learn to brainwash yourself to become the best version of yourself. You have to brainwash yourself to find the rich version of yourself. Anybody could come and tell me otherwise that there isn't a rich and a poor version of me. I remember how the poor version of me used to think. I know what the poor version of me used to believe. So nobody can come to me with no religious foolishness. Who want to go and call on their white Jesus could call on their white Jesus. That's their business. When I look in the mirror, I can't see no other. When I think about God, I look in the mirror. When I think about creating, I look in the mirror. When I see the one that is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, I see him in the mirror. Do you realize that your mind could go anywhere? You could think anything. Your imagination could go anywhere and do anything. So my brother and my sisters, live in the now. Think in the now. Okay, so if you really want to think and grow rich, you have to think in the now. Live from the now. Do everything from the now. I have it now. Not will be. It's not I'm going to get it later. I have it now. There's a $2 million house in my country. I have it now. I live in it now. I'm jumping in the pool now. I'm driving in the driveway now. Having friends and family come over now. I'm using it also to do business now, not just to live alone. Because you have 6 bedrooms. And I could use it to do business. It could be a bed and breakfast. Could use for that. Could use for other things. But it's in the now. You live it now. Here your family members congratulating you now. You want to win the lottery now. Hold up the piece of cardboard with the amount written on it. In the now. You wanna own it, or you wanna own it, have ownership of a yacht, you own the yacht now. And you know there's some people say, oh, you have a yacht? Oh, you have a private jet? You have all of that? Yes. I can do all things through what? My Christ consciousness, my Christ self. Through knowing who I am. Through knowing I have the God power that I must use to achieve my every desire. Because I am God in flesh. God and I are one. There's no difference. There's only one power on this planet. The power that Elon Musk uses is the same power I have to use. The same power that Bill Gates, all of them use, is the same power I have to use. So you could give them your power instead of using your power. They have no other power than you. They have to go to the toilet and take a shit just like you. They have to take a shower just like you. And they need other people along with themselves to accomplish the things that they accomplish. That's why unity is strength. So, when someone like myself telling you as a melanated person, stop praying and begging to some God or some entity outside of yourself and start to use your mind power. Do something different. Because there's no God on the outside that's going to save you or help you in any way. Okay? So my brother and my sisters, I am telling you how to think if you want to go rich. They never really tell you how to think. I am telling you, when you start to think in terms of you are God in flesh, they never tell you that when they tell you to think and go rich. Which means, I'm telling you, when you realize this whole thing about Jesus is bullshit, and they're using the Bible to bullshit you when they interpret it a certain way. These are hard facts. I'm telling you how to think. Think of the Bible as a book of mind science, and you will go rich. Think of the Bible as a book of sun science, sun, S-U-N, science, and you'll go rich. No, S-O-N. That's why I take Jesus out of the Bible, and I leave a blank space for you to write, I am. Go get the Bible, man. It's available on Amazon. 66 books of magic. It called the Overcomer's Bible. It's a magic book. Because I'm a magician. Our gods are magicians. We have magical powers. So all the people want to say, I'm a child of God, but you ain't God. You're dumb. I've had so many religious people in my country tell me, I'm a child of God, but I ain't God. You're dumb. That was the secret right there in Genesis. You could do a one-on-one Bible study with me. I'll prove to you what the secret was in Genesis. The secret that was open your eye to make you know that you're naked. The knowledge. They make it think that the serpent evil, right? When you discover the serpent energy, it's a God energy, you know? It's a God energy you discover. They take it and they put it on a stick with two serpents. They call it caduceus. You go by a hospital, you see it. You go by a pharmacy, they have it there. And they're using sorcery in you. Pharmacia. You don't know you have the healer inside of you. You don't know you have the deliverer inside of you. You don't know you have the provider inside of you. You don't know you have the multiplier inside of you. I multiply my money easily and effortlessly. And it comes to me easily and effortlessly. And it comes to me in avalanches of abundance. And it comes to me from multiple sources too. Because my mood is my fortune. Always in the mood. You know, before your mother and your father could come together, I have a honey feeling. You know, it's a mood. They was in the mood to exchange energy, sacred energy, exchange. So you tell me, if I did in the mood, I own in millions, anybody could stop me? No, they can't. Why? Because the ether is impartial. I have an energy field, you have an energy field, everybody have an energy field. The sun itself tells you there's an energy field because the sun is the energy field and the one and only energy field. And when people want to block out the sun, which is the energy field, it's because they're not as it's not as friendly to them. So my savior could be someone else's devil. And someone else's devil could be someone else's savior. So I'm telling you how to think. Melanated people, if you want to go rich, get rid of this Jesus bullshit. Stop thinking that the Bible is some religious book. Stop thinking that the Bible is some book of morality. I promise you in the next 5 minutes, the definitely going to close. It could be an hour and a half, and the definitely going to close. I have 5 more minutes speaking to you. Think as a God. That's how you think and go rich. Don't think like a dog. Dog is the opposite of God. So, if you think like a dog, you act like a dog, and you live like a dog. When you're religious, you're living like a dog. That's why you're always barking. The begging is the barking. Oh, God, give me this. God, give me that. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I plead the blood. I plead the blood in the name of Jesus. All these things are foolishness. That's you just barking. You live in a dog. They give you the image of a dog to worship. You're worshiping the image of a dog and not the image of a God. Because if it's the image of a God, it would be an image of yourself. It's the only how you can break the curse. It's the only how you can free yourself. Your mind must have no false God. Which means your mind must have no outside God. No outside God. No outside Savior. No outside Lord and Master. That's how you have to think. You have to think as a free man to be free. You have to think like a son man. Because that's who you are as a melanated person, a son man. A man with a soul. Think from the soul, live from the soul, and go rich. Nothing can go rich without the sun. Let me run this thing again, man. People get it. Sun, sol, solar. You have a solar system within. Live from the solar system. Our people who may live from the solar system, they believe in a S-O-N, talking about Jesus. Wake up. That's why I always say, fuck white Jesus, the white idol they give you. Because I know it's a joke. I know that's the devil I'm causing. That's your devil. Why? It keeps you in your lower self when you hold to idolatry, believing in some entity outside of yourself. It means you're living your life being void of self-love. You have no self-love. You have self-doubt and you have self-hate, and you don't even understand it, how it's happening and how it's working. People do not know how it's working. That's why with all the teaching on the internet, they're not letting go that Jesus. They're trying everyhow. I can go on so much of videos on the internet and show you how they want to always keep the Jesus agenda. They don't care how much you earn or how much you manifest or how much you change your life financially speaking and all of that. As long as they keep the Jesus agenda in your mindset, as long as they keep that idol in your mind. The thing is about the idol in your mind. But when you kill the idol, when you destroy the idol, that you put in what the devil under your feet. When you understand that you're not supposed to look to anything outside of your image and your likeness. That's why when I choose a woman, I want to choose a woman who look like my mother. I want to choose a woman who look like my sister. That's why I ain't no interracial bullshit with nobody. I speak in the truth. Because that's the only thing that will set me free. Now I'm a free man. I ain't gonna make myself slave to money. Money is not my slave. Because we are playing a game of master and slave, and you're choosing to be the slave. The borrower is a slave to the lender. When the bank control your entire life, control all of your assets, you are a slave to the bank. Well, I'm saying to you, the power that create the bank is inside of you. That's God power. God have a built-in banking system inside of you. You have to tap into the banking system, because when you tap into the banking system, you change the account in your literal bank account, because you go in your spiritual bank account, your astral bank account, your non-physical bank account, and you change the figures. That's the kind of power you have. That's why somebody had to teach you how to think and go rich. They're telling you how to think. You're in the religious, superstitious belief. Start with self-love. Start to think from that place. Up now. You love yourself now. You destroy the enemy of ego, your ego self. Okay? There's no enemy and no outside. You destroy all of that in the now. So I live everything from the now. Okay? That's how you claim your power, and that's how you take back your power. Okay, so I definitely gonna close it. It's an hour and 31 minutes. I really want to thank you all very much. Okay, for tuning in, and reach out to me if you want to do a one-on-one, or if you want to be mentor, or if you want to support this work. I have a people who can support this work. Okay, whichever way you choose to support this work, I'll be very, very grateful for whatever you're willing to sow in this field that gonna multiply 100-fold. And I'm saying to you, challenge me. Okay? Challenge me. And that. Guarantee you. Because I believe I master the principle of sowing and reaping. I master that, man. I want you to master it too. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I just want to say peace. Love you all. Out.